In this video, I'm going to give you a blueprint on how to start an online business starting on Instagram without having to spend on ads or anything like that, without serious investments or anything like that. I'm going to share with you the step-by-step on how to do it, starting in Instagram all the way to creating your business. So here's a step more or less. It's about 5 steps. The first step is you have to choose a niche. What is it that you're going to talk about? What niche are you going to get into? What specialty are you going to get to? So define a niche first. Are you going to be selling to people who like hiking? Are you going to be selling to people who like fishing? Are you going to be selling to people who want to learn math? What is the niche that you're going to specialize in? And it's very important to choose a niche because knowing that niche, you'll be able to know where the people are, people who like that, and you know what to talk about. So a lot of times choosing the niche is around who we are. Most of us start by selling to niches of things that we know about. So if you like mountain biking, for example, you'll be better off starting in that niche because you know the language, you know the things to talk about. But anyway, depending on what that is, the first step is to choose a niche that you're going to get into. The second step, and I know that these steps require a lot more detail, but here I want to give you the macro blueprint so that you know the steps that are required. The second step is find an audience. Within that niche, you need an audience. And what do I mean by that? Instead of going for what they call the shotgun approach, where you're trying to speak to everybody from that niche, try to do the laser target approach. Within the niche of, let's say, mountain bikers, there are different groups of mountain bikers. So choose a laser focused audience within that niche that you're going to be speaking to. Why? Because those are the people that you're going to start to cater to. Those are the people that are going to be your audience. Those are the people that you're going to start building a relationship with. So we start with a niche, then we look at an audience within that niche. Now, what do we do next? We start to create content that brings value to that audience without expecting anything in return. We want to provide value to them so that they start following us, so that they start trusting us, so that they start seeing us as somebody who will solve their problems or who will offer something that they will not be able to refuse. So from the niche, we go to the audience, and then we create content that provides value to them. So we're on Instagram, right? We know what niche we're going to go to. We know who we're talking to. Now we start creating content around that niche, that audience that brings value. Then the next step is we want to get their email address. The real asset here, the real asset of any online business is its users' email addresses. That's where the asset is, because as I'm going to talk about later in the video, that's where you can use that for many things. So our aim with this blueprint is to grow your email list of potential clients. Sorry. So to grow your email list. So we have the niche, we have the audience, we start providing content to them that interests them, that engages them, and then we need to create some sort of content that we will offer to that audience in exchange for their email address. So the back office of that is we need to have a landing page. You can create a landing page in WordPress or many other free options in which they will land on that page and give you their email in exchange for something. So for example, how does this work? Within your Instagram account, let's say we're talking to the niche of people who like fishing. So we create some sort of report or some sort of content based on your knowledge of the niche that is going to provide them value. So for example, the 7 tips of choosing the best lure for salmon. I don't know. As you can tell, I know nothing about fishing, but I'm trying to make an example of some piece of content that will interest the person and that they will be willing to share their email with you in exchange for that. Or the 10 best fishing spots in Montana. I don't know. Or if you're talking to people who like to do exercise, for example, 5 sure ways of shredding your abs. Some sort of ebook or some sort of list or some sort of tip, some sort of guide that you create as a PDF document. And then you have them go to the page to give you their email. How do you do that? In the link, in the bio of your Instagram account, you put the link of the URL where that page is, and there's a basic form that basically, welcome to the page. Thank you for being here. Give us your email so I can send the report to your email directly. And that way people will give you your email. And once they sign up for this, you will send them the email. Now, the next step of that is, after people give you their email, there's another way of engaging them as well. In the thank you page, after they give you your email, you can, they come into the page that you brought them through Instagram. They give you your email. When they click submit, they have to go someplace else. That's someplace else is called a thank you page. In that thank you page, you can say, thank you for giving us your email. Please check your email within the next 5 minutes for the report X, Y, and Z. Now that you're here, I want to invite you to join our private Facebook group, for example. And you can create a private Facebook group for that audience. That way, they click there, they go to the Facebook group. You can tell them it's a free Facebook group where we all talk about whatever it is that we're going to talk about within the niche. And that way you invite them to engage you in another platform. Now you have them on Instagram, they're following you on Instagram, you have their email address, and hopefully you have them as part of your Facebook group where you go and engage with them. And that way you're building trust, you're building trust. Now, as I said before, the objective of all of this is to have a list of people who are engaged with you. We provide value, they give us their email in return, and now we can use that email list to either sell them something through email, through do affiliate marketing, to invite them to our website, to eventually, if you want to start spending money on ads, you can create lookalike audiences with that email list, so Facebook will find people that are similar to that, or you can target them on Facebook directly. And I know that all of these are more and more advanced, but I wanted to share again the blueprint. First step, you create an Instagram account within a niche that you know you're going to talk to. The second is you know what audience you're talking to within that niche. The third is you provide content that has a lot of value to them, and you direct them to give you their email address in exchange for some piece of important information. Then you invite them to your Facebook group, and that way your only job is to keep people engaged and coming into your Instagram account. And you do that by creating content that is relevant to the niche, and people will start finding you that way. So again, without having to spend money on ads or anything like that, just by creating content, valuable content to an audience of a niche that you know, and finding a way for them to give you their email address, you start creating the list, which is the real asset there. And with that email list, you can do many, many, many things. I hope this helps. It's not difficult. You just have to know the steps. Each one of those steps has more details in it, but on the macro level, those are the steps of creating a business, just starting with an Instagram account. All right, I'll see you in the next one.